In music, there's generally two different moods, major and minor. Major is considered more happy and upbeat, and minor is considered more sad and melancholy. We've already talked about our major scale, and now we're going to talk about our minor scales, which there are a couple of. The first one we're going to talk about is our natural minor scale, which actually comes from our major scale. So I just played our C major scale, and in order to get to our natural minor, we're going to start on the 6th note of our major scale. So if this is our middle C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our 6th note of the C major scale is A, and I'm going to bring this down an octave. Now, if we play our C major scale starting and ending on A, this is what it sounds like. So you notice it sounds a bit darker, maybe a bit more emotional than our major scale, and this is because it's minor. The main differences between our major and our minor scale is this 3rd note. So usually our major scale has a whole step and another whole step, but our minor scale has a whole step, then a half step. And this is really kind of where our minor sound comes from, having this half step instead of a whole step. Another difference is from the 2nd to last note to our last note, which is an octave from our 1st note. And usually it's a half step, right? So in C major, it's from B to C, which kind of creates this resolution. But instead in our minor scale, we have a whole step. So instead of having this half step, we have our whole step. And just like when we're playing our major scale, we also want to be aware of our posture and our finger numbers. So again, we're using the same finger numbers as we use for our major scale. Our next minor scale that I want to talk about is the harmonic minor scale, which people are maybe a little bit more familiar with. And it's pretty much the same as our natural minor scale, except the 2nd to last note is raised up a half step, which creates this really cool sound. So again, we're changing this whole step, which from the 2nd to last note to the last note, which happens in our natural minor. And we're turning it into a half step, which creates a little bit more tension and maybe a little bit more tension and release. And this also creates an interesting interval, which is from F to our G sharp here. And again, in our left hand. So now we have our major scale, natural minor, and harmonic minor scales all ready to go.